So like I said, this last poem was a dedication to Women's College Hospital, and I almost never get the opportunity to perform anymore. And I love performing this poem that I dedicated to Women's College Hospital, because it's pretty much the only place where I can actually perform it, where people would get it. So I just love taking the opportunity. Okay, so this is my ode to Women's College Hospital. You've waited 1 week. No words are heard as a doctor begins to speak. Fingers tightly interwoven on your lap, head slightly tilted back as he says, your scans are clear. Eyes begin to well with tears because at 36 years, you never could have imagined that you'd find yourself here. A few floors below, a little girl you do not know is sitting by her mother's side. She said that there was no place to hide when the bombs would blast, but that this new country was safety at last, yet she could not sleep. The nightmares would always seem to creep in when her eyes would close. And suddenly, her attention is given to the girl who quickly froze outside the door. Lindsay realizes that she's on the wrong floor, but her mind cannot make sense of the space. As her thoughts begin to race, she heads towards the correct place and waits for her name to be called. She said she does not know where her mind went when it all happened, that it all happened so fast and she felt trapped and she felt as though she could not push him away. She thought that she was forced to stay the night. Eyes are full of fright when she asks if anyone will believe her. The doctor does not want to deceive her with the stats. A couple floors above, a young couple reacts to the sound of their child's heartbeat. The mother begins to weep as a father takes a seat and holds her hand. This is a family that they always planned yet never could imagine. When they learned that her ovaries were covered in cysts, a pregnancy was hard to fathom. And somewhere across the hall is an older woman determined to break tradition. She spent the last few years of her life in the grips of addiction, treating a pain that caused her much affliction, yet her days are starting to blur. She says that she cannot defer her happiness any longer, but she's confident that on this new treatment plan, her chances of sobriety would be stronger. And waiting nearby in an elevator, a doctor begins to ponder about the patient that she's desperately trying to save. Despite all the interventions that she gave, the prognosis is grim. But she must muster a smile because the next patient has been waiting quite a while and she wants to know the impact of the chemo on her fertility. See, she's only 33 and a couple months ago she was getting counseled on IUDs, so she's kind of confused as to how the tides were able to turn so quickly. But she finds faith in the four walls of that room, where hope lingers in the air like perfume within a hospital that conquers the impossible. For everyday women with concerns from abdominal to oncological, gynecological to optical, where doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers bravely face every obstacle, spinning miracles out of the improbable. Here at Women's College Hospital, healthcare for women is revolutionized, where the gaps that once seemed so wide are being drawn to a close, leading women through the ebbs and flows of their darkest hour, reminding them of their power, pressing for progress in every direction. Professionals of the finest collection are gathered here for women, for us, and so we thank you.